पान बनारस वाला हो या कलकत्ती, शौकीन लोग तो पान पे लपक ही पड़ते हैं। वैसे पान से जुड़ी हुई है बहुत सी मजेदार कहानियां। यहाँ आपको जानने को मिलेगी एक कहानी श्रीलंका से, एक कहानी वियतनाम से, और ये जानने को भी मिलेगा कि इंडिया में हर पूजा में पान का उपयोग क्यों होता है। तो वीडियो एंड तक देखिए, बट उसके पहले प्लीज लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब।
Let me tell you the story of a Paan. This story belongs to Sri Lanka. There was a rabbit, and this rabbit was a very, very devoted rabbit. Very good rabbit, good soul, good heart. Now, Sakra is a god. In the Jatak tales, he is considered to be the god of all gods. However, those who know mythology will also know that Rigved also calls Sakra as one of the names of Lord Indra. But one day, Sakra decided to test the rabbit. And he approached Rabbit and he said, I want you to do two things to prove your faith in me. He says, क्या? He says, पहले तो ये कि मुझे roast meat चाहिए और मुझे एक sermon सुनना है तुमसे. You have to tell me something which is really nice and kind of sermon which you have to give because you claim to be a very devoted person. So the rabbit says, sermon तो कर दूंगा, but roast meat is wilderness में मैं कहाँ से लाऊं? I don't know, I don't care. इस आप एक काम करो, मेरे को बॉयल करके रोस्ट करके खा लो, दैट्स द ओनली सॉल्यूशन. इस वो तो कर लूंगा, बट द स्टोरी सर्मन उसका क्या होगा? सो इस इज फेयर इनफ, गिव मी सम टाइम, आई विल थिंक अबाउट इट. ही थिंक्स एंड कम्स बैक एंड ही सेज दैट क्रिएट अ बिग माउंटेन. एक बड़ा सा माउंटेन तैयार करिए, उसके नीचे आग लगाइए. आई विल रीच एट द टॉप एंड फ्रॉम देयर आई विल जंप, एंड व्हाइल आई एम जंपिंग डाउन आई विल टेल यू द सर्मन. और जब तक मैं नीचे आऊंगा, आई विल बी रोस्टेड, यू कैन ईट मी. So Sakra was impressed, but एक तो कहने की बात होती है, एक होती है करने की बात. So ठीक है, fine, fair enough, I'm willing to see this. So the rabbit goes right on top, starts its sermon and jumps on the flames. However, Sakra catches him right at the right moment and is very, very impressed and takes him to the land of the gods. And he's so impressed by Sakra's the rabbit's devotion that he takes a small brush and he paints it on the moon. And that's why if you look closely at the moon, you'll see a rabbit out there. Just to commemorate this event of the devotion of the rabbit, Sakra painted it on the moon and he was very happy. And that's how the story ends. No, the story hasn't ended. मैं तो पान की story बोल रहा हूँ ना. He takes that brush and he throws it away. This brush goes and lands up on the underworld, which is known as the Naglok. And there, the king of the serpents, somehow उसके गले में वो stick अटक जाती है. The serpent struggles for 7 days and after 7 days the serpent dies. He dies and his family members, they burn him, and it is believed that from that ashes came a creeper, and that creeper is known as the Paan, the creeper which is a Paan. It is believed that the stems came up from its tail and the hood gave the shape of the leaf of the Paan. And the local word of Sinhalese and Tamil mein, it's called Nagavelli, which is serpent creeper. And in Gujarati, it's called Nagarvel, again serpent creeper. So now you know where the Paan gets its name. And if you've ever had a kacha Paan, you will see it burns your throat. You see, ऑब्वियसली उसके स्टिक से अगर एक सांप का थ्रोट जल बर्न हो गया तो आपका थ्रोट जलना थोड़ा तो बनता ही है, राइट? ऑल्सो इट इज बिलीव्ड, आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू सीन, वी डोंट सी इट इन मॉडर्न डेज. आजकल तो तैयार पान लोग खा लेते हैं. लॉट ऑफ पीपल व्हेन दे ईट अ पान, दे बाइट ऑफ द स्टेम एंड दे बाइट ऑफ द टिप. ये बहुत लोग पहले करते थे, आज के टाइम पे तो शायद नहीं करते होंगे, अभी भी करते हैं. गुड. उसका रीजन क्या है? इट इज बिलीव्ड दैट दिस क्रीपर ग्रू इन द नागलोक, बट अर्थ पे लाने वाला एक सांप था जिसने उसको टिप से और उसकी डांडी से पकड़ा था. एंड दैट इज वाई पीपल बिलीव कि आज भी शायद वहां पे पॉइजन अटका हुआ है. सो बाइट आउट द टिप एंड बाइट आउट द स्टेम, यू विल बी फाइन. While the Hindu mythology doesn't have much of Paan in it, except for the fact that, Paan comes out during the Samudra Manthan. Also, there is another way of looking at it, which is mentioned in one of the Purans, that the Paan literally has all the gods residing on it. So on the surface of it, on the veins of it, and that's probably why we use Paan in every puja ke kalash mein. We put the Paan. It also supposed to have a value whereby the water gets cleaned. But Paan, chuna और सुपारी ये हम साथ क्यों खाते हैं? इसके पीछे भी एक स्टोरी है. And this story belongs not to India. This story belongs to Vietnam. Once upon a time, there were two kids. They were twins, Tan and Lang. Yeah, I am not very sure, but I think it's Tan and Lang. Since you guys don't know, trust me. Tan and Lang is the name of those twins. These kids grew up. They were orphans. They grew up with one of their teachers, and the teacher took good care of these kids. And when they grew up, the teacher had a daughter, and Tan, the elder one, got married to the daughter. Everything was fine. Every day in the morning, the two boys would go out, work, come back in the evening. Tan's wife, in the meanwhile, would take care of the home, prepare khana vana, and everything was going on fine. One day, instead of Tan, Lang came early, and it was dark. And the wife didn't realize that this is not the husband, this is actually the husband's brother. And she very nicely kissed him and welcomed him. By the time Lang could explain कि मैं Tan नहीं हूँ, Tan saw it from a distance and he got very angry and he fired Lang, saying, ये क्या कर रहे हो तुम? Is this right? Is my wife? Tan would just not hear anything. Lang tried to explain. Lang को इतना बुरा लगा, he felt so bad that he decided to run away from house. He just ran. He reached the seashore and he was completely exhausted and he fell there. He fell there and he died. Now the gods were watching. They felt really bad, saying, frankly, तो इसमें Lang की गलती नहीं थी. So the gods decided कि let his body not go to waste. And so his body was converted into a limestone. Tan, after a long time, cooled down, realized कि ये कुछ ज़्यादा ही हो गया. Maybe he was trying to say something and I didn't listen to him. And so he went, he followed. And he also didn't know, obviously his brother was nowhere to be seen, and he kept running, and ultimately he also got tired. And just at the seashore, where his brother had died, he also fell down exhausted, and he also died. The gods again felt very bad, and what they did was they changed Tan into an areca nut tree, supari, and it grew very close to the limestone which was kept out there. Now the wife, she's also missing the husband, saying, "Hua kya, ye dono gaye kahan?" So she also ran, and she was also exhausted, and she fell down exactly there near the tree. And after some time, when she died, and gods changed her into a creeper, which grew up to be the betel leaf. Gods were watching this and they really felt sad कि the three of them, but at least they were happy that तीनों साथ में तो है. Everybody went to see the tree and they found it very strange कि यहाँ पे एक tree कैसे आ गया अचानक. एक stone है, एक creeper है. Soon there was a akal in the village. Everything dried. There was no greenery. But this tree and this creeper was evergreen. They were surprised कि ये कैसे हो सकता है. And they spoke about this, everybody was discussing about this. And that's when the king also wanted to go and see. He says, क्या है ये? How is it possible? जब सब जगह सूखा पड़ा हो, तो how is this tree not drying up? And so, when he went there, he didn't understand what was happening, but he was very tired. So he just sat down under the tree. He suddenly felt, an urge to eat something. So something fell on his head. That was the supari. He took the leaf, he had it together. He liked it, but लगा इसमें कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. Something is missing. So he just took this small stone that he was resting on, ground it, and had it. And that's how since then हम सब पान, सुपारी और चूना साथ खाते हैं. This is a Vietnamese story, and it's interesting to see that in the entire area, Myanmar, Vietnam, and all the neighboring areas, Burma, आज भी पान इसी तरह से खाया जाता है.